Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode, Real Mojo Point of View and Sports Reviews, the podcast. So, man, there's a lot going on, a lot of good stuff going on. We might as well jump right into it. So the NBA playoffs, you know, they resume tonight with the actually, Celtics and the Heat actually starting the Eastern Conference Finals, and Game 7 over in the Western Conference Finals between Denver and the championship favorite Clippers. So the Celtics and the Heat, man, they battled. They battled it out, man. It was a tough game, and actually ended up going to overtime with the Heat winning 117 to 114. And Bam Adebayo, he sealed the game, man. He sealed the deal with a big time block, man. Jason Tatum was coming to the rim hard, man, to finish strong. And they would have it would have been a 1 point deficit, but that big time block, man, they ended up winning the game by three, 117 to 114 in overtime. Um, Marcus Smart had 26 for the Celtics. Uh, Jaylen Brown had 17. Kemba Walker had 19. Jason Tatum led the way with 30, as usual. Jason Tatum is becoming a bona fide superstar in the league. Man, he's amazing us every night, man. He's coming into his own, and although they didn't get the win tonight, the way he tried to you know propel his team to the victory, going to the rim hard against a big man, against a legit big man that can block shots and is known for getting up off the ground. You know, playing above the rim, Bam Adebayo. And salute to Bam with the big time block. Not letting that basket get through, timing his jump perfect, not fouling, and blocking a power dunk. Jason Tatum had the ball cocked behind his head to posterize him, and Bam you know rejected it. Bam Adebayo finished the game with 18 points, 9 assists, and 6 rebounds, which is big time. Jimmy Butler had 20. Goran Dragic had 29. Man, he was he was he was a big time player tonight, man. Jay Crowder, former Celtic. Shout out to Jay Crowder, man. If y'all can't tell, I'm a Celtics fan. Shout out to Jay Crowder, man. Jay Crowder had 22 tonight for the Heat. Um, in all, it was a real good game. Though. It was a real good game, and you know, I expect the series to be a real good series. Also, I expect to be a real good series. Um, I think we're probably looking at 7 games there because both of those teams are hungry, man. They both want to win. They both want to win and see what's coming out of the West. And moving over to the West, moving over to the West, the NBA championship favorite, the team that's favored to go to the championship, the Los Angeles Clippers. Game 7, pressure's on. 14 points from the Claw, 10 points from Playoff P. 10 points from Playoff P. Uh, Lockdown defender extraordinaire, uh, Patrick Beverly. Uh, he locked down Jamal Murray to the tune of Jamal Murray had 40 points. This team supposedly constructed to beat the Lakers, right? But the Lakers not the only team in the West. You know, you 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 focus so much on the Lakers, and Denver didn't sneak in because Denver's a real good team. But you focus so much on the Lakers, you look past everybody, and look what happened. I mean, the last 3 games of this series, 5, 6, and 7, you gave 5 to 6, you gave up 15 plus point deficits. You blew 15 plus point leads to lose those games. And then tonight was just who wanted it more. You know, the pressure was on, and Denver came and showed up. You know, Denver came and showed up, man. And, you know, with all, you know, you got the last 3 6-man of the years on your bench, you know, between 2 guys, Trez Harrell, who had 20 tonight, and Sweet Lou Will, you know, Lemon Pepper Lou. But, you know, just, you know, tonight it was all about Denver. You know, Denver played ball. They played ball. They got good contributions from everywhere. Jokic had a 20-point triple-double. I mean, a 20-rebound triple-double, you know. I don't know, man. I think Kawhi made a wrong decision. I think he made a wrong decision. Even though, you know, he could have went to the Lakers. The highlights is on now for, you know, for those of y'all who's watching the video. You see me keep looking to the side that they got the highlights on. But Jamal Murray just wasn't having it, man. He just wasn't having it. And so now the Western Conference Finals is set. You know, it'll be the Los Angeles Lakers versus the Denver Nuggets. And after well, not right after Houston lost to the Lakers, I believe it was the day after, Mike D'Antoni announced that he was stepping away from coaching, at least stepping away from coaching Houston, from my understanding. Which makes sense. That team's not going anywhere with Russell Westbrook and James Harden, because I mean, of course, the other guys are gonna ride the coattail, and yeah, they shooting all the shot, you know. But it's the ball ain't moving consistently. You get rid of Clint Capella, who's leading the league in rebounds and blocks at one point, and dunks, field goal percentage, you know, to go along with that. So the style that Houston plays is not a winning style. It's not a winning style of basketball. So, you know, with that being said, and D'Antoni is not known for being a defensive coach, even though they forced a lot of turnovers this playoffs. You know, but you know, with that being said, they're gonna have to get a coach, Mark Jackson. They're gonna have to get a coach that those guys believe in, and they're gonna have to kind of change the philosophy over there a little bit. You know, they're gonna have to change the philosophy. You know, and you know, and back to and while we on coaches, Doc Rivers is a great coach, man, but he got 8 Game 7 losses. You know, he lost 8 Game 7s in his coaching career. So I don't know, you know, if his team's not really, you know, front running how good they are, or the system or whatever. But I just want to throw that out there. And I like Doc. He's a good coach. I like Doc as a coach. But 8 Game 7 losses is not good. Not good at all. So, you know, but you know, that's that. So the conference finals is all set. Now let's jump into something that just made my weekend, man. Made my weekend. Opening week of the NFL started, you know, on Thursday. The Chiefs and the Texans. You know, Chiefs got the win 34-20. They came out hitting on all cylinders. I just feel like Deshaun Watson couldn't really get it going. Pat Mahomes played good. He was his normal self, 3 touchdown passes, a 90 QBR. So, he was his self. He was his self. He spread the ball around. Edwards-Helaire was a huge surprise. A rookie Edwards-Helaire from LSU. 25 carries for 138 yards, man. He was a huge surprise. Deshaun Watson, he got off to a slow start. He didn't play particularly well. Got sacked 4 times. Kansas City's defense is improved. And they played up front with a lot of passion, and they was on it. They was on it. And they got to Deshaun Watson 4 times. 4 sacks. And pressure for a good amount of the night, and they held him. His QBR was 53.8, so they held him. I believe Houston is gonna bounce back and have a good season. It's just tough to play a team like Kansas City opening night. It's tough, man. It's tough to play them opening night. And I wanted to run down the scores, but there's a couple things I wanted to talk about too. That's to me that I'm watching the game. I watch like for the game, inside the game, and all that. But Seattle Seahawks. Seattle Seahawks is gonna be a tough out. Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson was cooking, man. He came out on fire. 2 touchdowns in the first quarter. He just right now he's playing, and he had 4 touchdowns total, but he's playing lights out, man. Russell Wilson's playing lights out. 322 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. 87 and 87.5 QBR. I mean, Matt Ryan had 450 yards, but they's playing from behind the majority of the game. He had to throw the ball 54 times. He threw the ball 54 times. Todd Gurley really couldn't get off in the game. He really couldn't get going because they was down. To start, they was down early and often, and they could never really get them on track, get the running game on track. So I don't know. I don't know really how it's going to work over there, Todd Gurley, because Atlanta's always been a pass-first team and a pass-heavy team, since Matt Ryan's there. And then you got Julio Jones, he did what he does. Calvin Ridley, so each of them had 9 catches. Julio Jones went for $157. Calvin Ridley $130 and 2 touchdowns. So, and Todd Gurley of old was a good pass receiving running back, but I'm not sure if he still got that in him, with the knee issues and things of that nature. But what I wanted to talk about with Seattle is Jamal Adams. Jamal Adams, I think, with this defense, first and foremost, I think Jamal Adams is going to be the defensive player of the year. But he's just so good, man, and he's so humble by. I listened to him in an interview. He's just so humble by listening to that, being on that team. I listened to that interview, and he's just like, man, he's on the sideline looking at the field, but not waiting to go in. He's just watching Russell Wilson work. He said he's not used to that. He's used go over there and get a quick drink because they're about to either turn the ball over or 3 and out, and we'll be right back on the field. But he's humble, man, and he's happy, man. I never seen a dude so happy to be out of his old situation and in his current situation. You know, he's happy, man. He's humble, and I don't think he ever seen nothing like that before. You know, uh, I'm happy for him. You know, I like to see him. I like to see Jamal Adams play, man. To me, he's the best defensive player in the league right now. You know, he can do it all. Play the pass, play the run, big hits. He's smart. So I feel like I'm happy for him. I feel like this is gonna be a real good fit for him. You know, my man Adrian Peterson is over at over with Detroit. You know, they ended up losing at the end, man. They looked like they had the game won, and then they ended up giving up 21 points in the fourth quarter, which is crazy. Like they let Mitchell Trubisky throw 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. They went into the fourth quarter leading 23-6. I mean, and then one of the most colossal breakdowns, and it is Detroit, so it's not like it was Seattle or New England losing a big time lead like that. But wow, man, you have Adrian Peterson who ended the game with 90 plus yards. So just run it out. Just kill the clock. I mean, Matthew Stafford to me has been one of the biggest busts in a long time. You know, I'm not really a Matthew Stafford fan. He to me, you know, he's been a huge bust, you know, but I just feel like you got the game in hand, 23 to 6 going into the fourth quarter. And so did you just not have a possession? Did you just, did they not have a possession, man? I mean, I don't know. Then we move along to the Green Bay Packers and get me some damn help, Aaron Rodgers. Looked like he had all the help he needed, man. 364 yards, 4 touchdowns. I mean, like he had everything he needed to me, man. He played real well, man. Devontae Adams, again, 14 catches, 156 yards, 2 touchdowns. I mean, dude is just a stud, man. Devontae, he's just a stud. There's no other way to put it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He's just a stud. So now we go to Big Cam Newton. Everybody was waiting, this whole big thing about, well, not big thing, just big competition. Who's gonna do better, Brady or Bill Belichick? So Brady went to a stacked up team, 3,000-yard receivers. He got his buddy Gronk back, and then Leonard Fournette just fell out of the sky. Boom, Leonard Fournette's over there now too. So, Brady was a consensus, right? Wrong. Cam Newton came out and he looked healthy, on a few a few design run plays. He looked good, man. 15 carries for 75 yards, 2 touchdowns. Listen, to me, it was always the foot injury for Cam. The shoulder injury is what it is. You can shut it down and you can get surgery on the shoulder if need be. But if you go out there, you got to perform. And he lost his last 8 starts in Carolina. He wasn't performing well, but he went out there every week, did his job to the best of his ability, being hurt, and it was a rough time. It was a rough 2 full seasons, and then last year with the foot injury, he shut it down. So it was a rough time, but yesterday he was efficient, 15 for 19, 155 yards, 79.7 QBR, and he did what he had to do, move the chains, and I was watching just how he handled the physicality and the hits, and he actually wasn't taking on hits head on. He wasn't Superman and hits head on. He was getting down. Even when he scored a touchdown, he got down. He just got the ball over the pylon and he got down. So the contract he's on, $1 million, $1.5 million, or whatever it is, and with all the incentives, I think he would be looking at, if he reached all his incentive goals, he would be looking at about close to $5 million. And that's really a showcase contract for him. He gets to showcase himself in a great organization with a great coach and a great play caller, and Josh McDaniels. So it's like a win-win for Belichick and the Patriots and Cam. They just use each other, and everybody knows that going into this thing. Hopefully he can have a really good season. Hit his incentives and get the $5 million as opposed to the $1 million, and then decide what he wants to do moving forward. I mean, if he does everything that he's supposed to do, and I say by about week 5 or 6, he'll be looking like 2015 Cam Newton, as opposed to 2017 Cam Newton. And that would open eyes around the league and right where he is in New England. If they choose to, make this thing long term, hopefully they would do right by Cam, and it would be a good fit. Something that aggravated me, after the game was over. A couple dudes from the Dolphins tried to I don't know if they tried to break his chain or take it or whatever they tried to do. Like, that's just weird to me, man. Like, that's weird to me. Like, all that type of stuff, you leave that out, man. Leave that out of the game. Leave that out of the game. And Cam was saying he has his kids' birthstones on the chain, but it don't even matter what's on the chain. All that type of stuff, man, that's like hood stuff. I guarantee neither one of them dudes is from the hood. Guarantee it. Neither one of those dudes are street type of kids. You know what I'm saying? I guarantee it. But it was just unnecessary, man, and uncalled for. I mean, you had 60 minutes to put Cam through pain. 60 minutes to shut him up. 60 minutes to shut him down. And you couldn't do it. Couldn't do it. You didn't do it. So after the game, his chain is his chain. Dap him up or not, and go on about your business. Go catch your flight home. He sent you home, so go home. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that's just weird, man. Cam's old team, Carolina, didn't do so well. Didn't do so well, man. They ran into. I will say I was happy with Teddy Bridgewater's play. You know, I'm glad Teddy Bridgewater's playing at a high level. You know, I'm sorry it was at the expense of him coming in and you know, on the back of Cam Newton. But Cam Newton came in on the back of Tom Brady, so who came in on the back of Jameis Winston. So that just is what it is. It's a quarterback carousel. You know, just the two biggest names probably to move like that since Peyton Manning. But those three names is probably the biggest in history to move like that. You know, because when Joe Montana went to Kansas City, you know, he was past the prime. Tom Brady's past the prime, but he still played well. We'll get to him in a minute. But Teddy Bridgewater played well, man. 22 of 34, 270 yards, touchdown, no interceptions. He spread the ball around really good, you know, and I think he found kind of like a connection with Robbie Anderson. So 6 catches, 115 yards and a touch. So he found a little connection there. But the story was Josh Jacobs, man. Christian McCaffrey and Josh Jacobs was pretty similar. Christian McCaffrey, 23 carries for 96 yards, 2 touchdowns. But Josh Jacobs, 25 carries, 93 yards, 3 touchdowns. You know, he just controlled the game. Derek Carr played well. If Derek Carr can play this well for 13 games, they'll be in the playoffs. You know, I see Las Vegas. Las Vegas, shout out to Vegas Raiders. I see Las Vegas, man, winning about 9 games. I see 9-7 in their future, man. I see 9-7. You know, if David Carr can play like this, he stepped in, he stood in the pocket a few times and against some pressure, stepped up and made some good throws. A couple of them got caught, a couple of them didn't. But the fact that last year he was, you know, ducking and dodging and alligator arming, you know, he stood in there. I don't know what the talks was in the offseason, but he stood in there. You know, he stood in there and did what he had to do yesterday. Sunday, sorry. Joe Burrow played good. I'm gonna get to him in a minute. But the Cleveland Browns, I understand they ran into a buzzsaw. They ran into the reigning MVP who got, dare I say, better. Scary. Cleveland Browns, the organization they're in trouble, man. They're in trouble. They got 2 top tier talent running backs, but it's not like a Nick Chubb runs stronger than Kareem Hunt, but they're pretty much the same though. They're not like a Alvin Kamara and Mark Ingram. One's just a sledgehammer, you know, not like a Reggie Bush, Lindell White type of thing. So I mean, they need a quarterback, in my honest opinion. They need a quarterback. Baker Mayfield is just not it. You know, he's just not it. I mean, 21 for 39, 189 yards. His QBR was 33.3, and I understand. Baltimore is doing something on defense for the past, I'll say, I'm gonna say for the past 15 years, Baltimore's defense is on another level, and that's crazy to have consistency like that. Their defense is like the Patriots team for over the past 15, 20 years. It's always top tier, and then sometimes you will have a offense that will be able to hold it down on the other end. Look like now they're gonna have an offense for the next 15 years to hold it down. But their defense is like, it's just crazy. I think it's just something like when they come in the door, they just turn into different people when you go to Baltimore, because their defense is crazy all the time. Since Ray Lewis, I mean, their defense is just phenomenal every year in, year out. They always have a defense that will keep them in games. But now you got a guy like Lamar Jackson, and this dude is like something we never seen before. And there is like, because he's not like Michael Vick. He's I don't know, he's more of a student, he's more in tune, and he's more down to earth. Like Michael Vick was like Michael Jackson, because we never seen nothing like Michael Vick, and you probably never will again. Just like in his body, just like he had rocket fuel instead of blood. Like we never seen nothing like that. Lamar Jackson is maybe straight line faster. He's bigger. He's tall. Well, he's taller, but Michael Vick had a cannon for an arm, and straight from the get go, as soon as he came in the league, he had a cannon like that. And I just think that's the only comparison is those two. Well, that you can compare Lamar Jackson to is Michael Vick, but he's definitely right now he's the most indefensible player in the league. You can't guard him. I'm like, because you can't send two guys, because he can outrun two guys. His ball placement got better, even though it was Cleveland. But those are the games where you work on stuff. And QBR of 94. Like, I mean, he was 20 for 25, 275, 3 touchdowns. I don't know what to say. Only thing I can say is Kansas City is going to be in for the AFC. The AFC is looking better this year. Even though Houston lost, the AFC is looking a lot better this year, man. The AFC is looking strong. It's looking real strong. And since we're recapping, we just gonna, the Chargers beat the Bengals, but Joe Burrow, I believe that pass and catch at the end should have stood as a touchdown. I believe Joe Burrow did that, man. I believe he's legit. He's gonna be Cincinnati's savior in a few years. He's good, right? He's fine right now. There's just a few things that the Bengals are gonna have to work out. They're gonna have to work something out. But I mean, he had a 23-yard touchdown run, and he was juking and doing the thing, man. Now we're gonna go over and talk about Tom Brady. Man, Tom Brady threw a pick six. I mean, he just picked up where he left off last year. His last pass for the New England Patriots was an interception. He's 43. I'm not even gonna sit here and act like oh yeah, Tom Brady's trash, and I'm not even gonna do that. I'm not a Patriots fan, not a Tom Brady fan, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm definitely not a hater. We talking GOAT status of all quarterbacks. He's the GOAT of all quarterbacks. Just being real, he's the GOAT of all quarterbacks. Just so happens that he's 43. He's slowing down. the arm strength is leaving, the arm strength that he had. He never been a big time, go down the field deep, deep bomb throwing guy. But that's going away. He's 43 though. He's 43. I mean, nothing's a knock on him. He's 43. Drew Brees is 40, and he didn't look so hot yesterday. 160 yards. He didn't look so hot yesterday, but he played within his system. He played within his system. He was 18 for 30, which wasn't great, but he played within the system. His defense took over. Realistically, his defense took over. But they jumped. Halftime, they was up 17-7. His defense took the game over, though, and what propelled him to the win. But, I know Belichick's like, hey, I got the W, you did. DeAndre Hopkins got a huge contract in Arizona, got a huge contract, extension rather. And, he showed up. 14 catches, which is a career high for him, 151 yards, He showed up. And he scored, right? No, he didn't. Nope, he did. Oh, they called. So they didn't let that touchdown stand because he got in, but I believe he was down. But yeah, man, they came back and beat the Niners, man. They came back and beat the Niners. Jimmy Garoppolo played well. Kyler Murray played well. 26 for 4. He played well. Kyler Murray had 91 yards rushing. He had a long touchdown run, too. He's cat quick, man. He's cat quick. So, we'll see. We'll see about Arizona. We'll see. We'll keep our eye on them. We'll keep our eye on them throughout the season. We're going to be doing these. I might do this show on every Tuesday. from now on. Maybe Sunday night. I think Sunday night I'm going to go live. I'm going to do live Sunday night, with the recaps on Sunday while I'm still hyped up, I didn't do it. My weekend was crazy busy, man. But I believe I'm going to do live on Sundays and then, the recap podcast on Tuesday after the week is totally over. And Big D, man. Big Dallas, man. Big Dallas Cowboys, man. I'm not a fan. But they got a great team. Top to bottom. They got a great team. But they came up short again. That's the problem with the Cowboys. Every year, it's their year. It's the Cowboys' year. Every single year, they come up short. Every single year. Last year, 8-8. I mean, they paying dude DeMarcus Lawrence $100 million. He didn't even get 5 sacks, did he? I mean, Amari Cooper, big time contract. He left one of the games crying, didn't he? Against the Patriots, crying. Gilmore made him cry. Ezekiel Elliott, big time contract. You got to cross your fingers and hold your breath every year because you don't know what type of trouble he's getting into right before the season starts. And then you got Dak Prescott, leader, offensive rookie of the year, maybe like 4 or 5 yards away from 5,000 last year. Won a playoff game against Aaron Rodgers, and he can't get a contract. He's on a franchise tag. So either you don't believe he's the quarterback of the future in Dallas, or you want him to further outplay his rookie contract. Which one is it? I don't know. I don't know. You tell me. Everybody can get paid on this team except for Dak. And you know what Dak's going to be. You know what Dak's going to give you. Year in, year out, game in, game out. He's out there putting it on the line for the team. Even, he ran the ball, try to get it in the end zone. But he's out there putting it on the line, man. And you just got no regard for him. No regard for him. To get hurt, then you don't gotta pay him. Oh man, we dodged a bullet. But somewhere, somehow, he's gonna get his money. He let them know he wasn't signing if they franchised him. They burnt the bridge. He had a tragedy with his brother. And just the fact that he just been there. He's solid. And he don't get no respect for that. He don't get no love for that from the front office. His teammates, they love him. His teammates ride with him. But he can't get no love for that, man. But let's jump into this game. 25 for 39, 266 yards, touchdown, no interceptions, 30 yards rushing for Dak. Laid it on the line. Came up short. He came up short. Couple of big plays on the Rams' part. They opened up their new stadium the right way with a win, man. Jared Goff, 275 yards. Their run game was pretty good. Zeke played well, 96 yards, touchdown. Zeke had a receiving touchdown. I don't know, man. But the Cowboys got to figure it out. Leighton Vander Esch, he went down with a broken collarbone. Got to get that surgically repaired today, I think. Today or yesterday. They for a little while, man, dudes were just going down. So I don't know, man. I don't know. The Cowboys got to figure it out because with the constructed, their roster looks great. Their roster looks great. But they just somehow, they always find a way not to get the win. Not to finish the season strong. Now they're not starting the season strong. So, I don't know, man. Something got to be done. They changed coaches. And they should have kicked the field goal. They would have tied the game up. And they ended up losing by that. They ended up losing by a field goal. They went for it. The Mike McCarthy elected to go for it instead, and they couldn't come up with the conversion, with the fourth down conversion. So, I don't know. Don't know. But now on to the Monday night games. Tennessee Titans versus Denver Broncos. That was a hard-hitting game, man. That was a hard-hitting game. I was kind of excited about that game. I couldn't finish that one. I didn't have nothing left because, I'm a Pittsburgh fan, so I didn't have nothing left after the Steelers game. I was hyped. I was going crazy. Plus, I had to get up, get ready for school, and work the next day, for today. But Ryan Tannehill, man, listen. He's continuing to play well. He's continuing to play well, man. Ryan Tannehill, man, 29 for 43, 249 yards, 2 touchdowns, man. He's continuing to play well, man. I like Drew Lock, man. I'm not gonna lie. I like Drew Lock. He got some swagger, but he got some game, man. He got some game. He got some heart too, man. He's not afraid to make a big throw. He played good. They ran up against kind of like a buzzsaw. Tennessee's a good team, man. Tennessee's another one of those teams, one of those 4 or 5 teams in the AFC that, I think is going to compete, make the AFC a strong division, not just a cakewalk for Kansas City, I don't think it's going to be a cakewalk, Derrick Henry, just a monster. They had Kansas City beat last year, but Pat Mahomes is a real deal. But Tennessee did everything. They did everything they could to win that game. And I ain't going to say they should have won. I'm not going to say they should have won. But they did all they could. And they had a strong chance to win that game. You know, again, last night, Derrick Henry, 31 carries for 116 yards. So Tennessee with the 16-14 win over the Broncos. Tennessee got a real good team, man. And the last but definitely not least, Steelers Nation, y'all stand up. Last but not least, you know, Big Ben's back. Big Ben is back. It took him a little while. The first quarter, he was kind of shaky. And you know the butterflies. He didn't play. He missed the whole season last year, I think, after game 1 or 2. Today makes 365 days, you know, clear. But, you know, Ben's back. He put it together. He settled down towards the end of the game. You know, he hit Juju Smith-Schuster for 2 touchdowns, and James Washington for another one. James Washington actually just bullied his way into the end zone on his touchdown. But they look good, man. Benny Snell Jr., he ran the ball hard, and honestly, I think Benny Snell should be the starting running back. He runs hard, he runs tough. His vision is better than James Conner. You know, his vision is better. But Daniel Jones, man, he played real good too, man. He played good, but what he ran into, what Saquon Barkley ran into, was a Steelers defense that is a for sure playoff defense. And as they get tighter, as they get more reps in, if Ben could get it together and Juju can play like he played last night, and you know a few other things go their way, they could go deep, man. Bud Dupree was unblockable, man. Bud Dupree, I didn't see Bud Dupree get blocked all night. I didn't see him get blocked all night. I mean, he was going crazy. He was going crazy, and they had 3 sacks as a team, but Bud Dupree was just disrupting everything. He was everywhere. You know, Devin Bush, Edmonds. I mean, like, they got a real good defense, man. TJ Watt with the interception. Fake drop back into coverage. Boom, jumped up, took the – I mean, they got a good team, man. They held Saquon Barkley 15 carries. Saquon Barkley had 6 yards. And from the start of the game, it was no to the run game. No to the run game. And that's big because they got Dallas coming up down the line. You know, Baltimore. They got Baltimore twice in a month. So to get that run defense, shooting gaps, putting pressure on the run, taking up those offensive linemen, that's huge. That's huge. And the more they play, the better they're going to get. The tighter they're going to get together. So, you know, Pittsburgh should be something to see this year, you know. And Ben, you know, like I said, around game 4, game 5, when everything started coming back, when the Hall of Fame stuff started coming back, I don't know how much of it will come back. He's 38. But, you know, hey, man, crazy show tonight, man. I'm hyped. I was hyped about football. Y'all could tell. If y'all haven't already, man, like, share, drop comments. Most important, subscribe. Hit the like, subscribe, hit the like, and you know, we're going to keep this thing rolling, man. Y'all have a good night.